Did you drop me?
I dropped you. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Don't drop me. I'm your little baby. Don't
No,
drop the
I
baby.
lost
Don't
you.
shake the baby. I am Greg. We are live. We are D minus chats.
Yes, and I'm Brian, and we're D minus chats, and we're going to talk
Very
about
nice.
a really cool new album. But before we do that, let's hype up some of our own music picks.
Yeah. What did you listen to today?
What did I listen to today? I listened to an
That's
album by Machine Girl
Oh my God.
because I'm young, arrogant, and hate everything you stand
Uh,
for.
yeah.
That's your number
Where's the
one
cover?
album of 2017.
That's my number one album of 2017. It's the best one that came out. We got a lot of people on our last video saying that we didn't mark down the new that who did the album Goths? Hold on. You keep talking about that. I'm gonna look it up.
Machine Girl, first off, the whole description we give you on our best of 2017 video. So look at that. But in short, abrasive music. And it hurt. The first time I listened to it, I actually had to stop halfway through. Not
Yeah.
because I had to do something, but also because it hurt. And yeah, it was just a difficult listen, difficult but rewarding. All in one.
Yeah. So we got a lot of comments on the last video saying that we didn't include the new Mountain Goats album. Sorry. I don't do you like the Mountain Goats, Brian?
I've heard of that. I should check them out.
I like them. They're okay. I don't like them. I don't like them. I do like them. They're cool. They're like an indie folk band. I appreciate them. Anyhow, may I?
Yes.
That's not. What's going on here? This is crazy.
Let's go.
Whoa. I'm just trying to pull up the album. All right, yeah. So my album that I listened to is.
You did it.
I did.
Yes.
Did you think I was gonna do it?
We gave each other our list.
Gave each other music. And I listened to the Taxpayers with the album God Forgive These Bastards. They are a folk punk band out of, I think, Georgia. Or if they're not out of Georgia, they sing about Georgia a lot. Maybe they just sing about a person named Georgia. I don't know.
Portland.
They're from where?
Portland.
They just sing about Georgia a lot then, in that case. I don't know. But yeah, no, they're great. They what it seemed to me, because they had like a really big, more than just your traditional folk punk instrumentation, which can be pretty like big. They can have like a lot of like horns and strings and stuff like that. But they use them in a very interesting and sometimes harsh and grating way. And it reminded me of the band Old Time Religion, which is that band from I think they're also actually from Portland, who was really big into Captain Beefheart and stuff like that. And they also reminded me a little bit of Morphine too. But yeah, really awesome, interesting folk punk album from this side of the decade. So what are we reviewing today?
Yes. Well, we haven't really ventured much into Vaporwave, have we, on this channel?
We talked about Evian Water once.
We did. We did listen to One of Tricks Point Never, but it wasn't at all.
We did listen to One of Tricks Point Never.
It was different.
It's different.
So this is an emerging artist in that scene, New Coke.
New Coke. He's a new bloke. New Coke.
Yeah.
You like that?
No, not really. So
you feeling okay?
Yeah.
So
this is New Coke.
Yeah, tell us about New Coke.
This is New Coke's third album, and it's called New Coke 2, which is a play on the Coke products of the time. In the early 90s, they introduced From the Ashes of New Coke. It was called Coke 2. And so this is the latest from that artist.
Yes, New Coke has been a vaporwave act that has danced around things like future funk as well as vaporwave, and taking inspiration from such bands as Saint Pepsi. And I have enjoyed the music to come out off of the New Coke monitor for a few years now. And what did you think of this new album?
Well, I'm right with you there in the sense that I've also been enjoying New Coke really since the artist came out. And so the thing about New Coke is that New Coke does future funk so well. And with this release, it's so funky. And I'm happy that it's longer also. Like, you're venturing now into just about full-length territory.
Yeah, it is.
So for a vaporwave release, I guess for me, it's really, really substantial, and it's not boring at all. So all of the themes are they're really satisfying to hear. It feels good.
Just like Coke.
It's the taste of a new generation.
Catch the wave. Yeah. So I'm interested in hearing. I'm very excited to talk to you about. You're my co-host.
Hello?
Otherwise I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, how convenient, right? I'm excited to talk to you about this album because you listen to a lot of fucking vaporwave. Why don't you tell me about that and how that stacks up to how the new album by New Coke stacks up to some of the other vaporwave that you tend to gravitate towards?
Well, it's been a hell of a year. I got into vaporwave, I guess, because of the aesthetic that it goes for. There are lots of different avenues that it could pursue. Very rarely have I heard an album or a song or really even an artist, like one singular artist, try to tackle every single theme that vaporwave could hold. I think New Coke definitely takes a stab at it on New Coke 2, and I'd say for the most part is successful in the sense
I agree.
Of just capturing those retro vibes.
Yeah, that's the new Coke album, Retro Vibes. That's the new. It could be. It's not. One thing that New Coke doesn't really tackle, although it might be interesting to hear him do in the future, is he doesn't really venture into trap too much. You can hear some trap on some vaporwave releases. Unfortunately, Brian listens to a lot more vaporwave than I. I mostly just kind of like know the old classics of Macintosh Plus and Blank Banshee and Saint Pepsi, and I've listened to some Esprit and Macross as well. But so that is that one avenue of vaporwave that is a little unexplored here, but that's fine. I mean, like, this doesn't have to be like an adventure of everything that is possibly vaporwave. The things that New Coke does do on this album is, I would say they should fall into primarily two categories if I was to classify this, either into the future funk vein or into some like just repetitive like Muzak sort of like soft jazz, like elevator music sort of meme. And for me, I think that the Muzak stuff that New Coke does is awesome. I think that's my favorite part of the album, to be honest, is the sort of stuff where he just plays on themes over and over, like on the song. I'm not looking up the track list. You're looking up the track list. Oh, I closed out of it. That's good. Cabana, that song, where it plays on the one theme over and over. I think it's great. I mean, like we've talked about this a lot on the channel, but I am a big fan of repetition if it's done well. And this is repetitive and it's done well. And not to mention the closing track, something Corp
No,
Office Suite.
it's okay.
I'm sorry, which is an homage to the YouTube channel that One O Tricks Point Never was initially posted as his like sound projects on. Office Suite being a meme and a tribute to Microsoft Office, and Suite also being like a musical suite. It's just like it's layered with references going on there. But what? Tell me about your over. What do you think?
So you enjoyed the repetition. I agree was absolutely tasteful. What I enjoyed, not surprisingly at all, is the funk. And
hell yeah,
boy does this album bring it, because this album, I think as far as Vaporwave albums are concerned, and of all of the ones I've ever listened to, and there are a lot of them, this album has one of the best 1-2 punches as far as tracks are concerned, going from Late Capital into Luxury Auto Mall.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Oh, that's some future funk right there. Now I understand. See, I'm actually still a little bit confused as to how trap. I'm still getting into the trap elements of Vaporwave. This album doesn't have it, and the albums that I like don't have it either. So I'm still getting into it. So I'm certainly not complaining. I'm not well versed really in that enough. So the whole album really just feels good. I mean, once it kicks in, it's got a strong opener, but it's actually the second track that really kind of ropes me in.
Interesting.
Moonlight Shuffle breaks out the bass lines, and
yeah, it does.
Sampling sounds good on it. It just makes you feel good. It captures all the retro vibes that I was hoping to hear on any sort of Vaporwave album, and this one had it.
You know what's funny, Ryan, is we feel the exact opposite. Because sure. I hate this album. I don't. But like I do think that like the funkier tracks, like the Moonlight Shuffle and everything, they're good. I don't prefer them. I prefer the more repetitious ambient tracks. Like right. I thought that the opening track, Only My Choice, Pepsi Man reference, is actually one of the standout tracks for me, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what are your standout tracks?
Aside from Lake Capital and Luxury Auto Mall, really enjoyed Sky Mall. I really enjoyed Parkway Breeze. It made me feel nice. New Coke Classic has like this great retro feel to it, so I was into that. The Closer,
Sunset Court, Office
Suite,
is Wide Emotions.
Wide Emotions. It did repetition really, really well, though I love the vibes of it. I really do. And as far as repetition goes, it's a good way to close out the album, though I tend to lean more of the future funk route anyway. And on New Coke's first album, should you venture into that,
you should.
That's by the way, great future funk there. And I'm just happy to hear a resurgence of it. I think I was more looking for that on this New Coke album because I had heard New Coke do it before.
That's interesting. I feel the opposite. I do. I think that like this progression he's made towards a more like Muzak ambient sort of thing, I prefer it a lot more. Because while I do like future funk, I like the more like esprit sort of Vaporwave as well more. So this to me is New Coke's best album. I mean, he's only had 3, but but this one clicks with me, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but I like this one. And for the closing track, Sunset, Court, Luxury, Palm Pilot, USB, Dreams, Digital, Vapor, Sunglasses. That's one of my standout tracks too, because that is a song that just lays on the atmosphere, and it doesn't let up for like 8.5 minutes, which is something I don't think he's ever done before. It's like a longer track like that.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. My standout tracks are Anna, Only My Choice, Luxury Auto Mall, and Sunset Corp Office Suite. Those are mine.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we seem to feel the same way about the album, except entirely different.
Yes. I'm like a
You okay?
I like the album.
I also
Really
like
nice chats. And what was the slogan we had for today?
Oh, it was a good one.
It was D-Mino Bien Tiempo. It was Spanish. That was it, right?
I
It was something
know.
in Spanish. Mucho, muy bueno.
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mino, muy bueno. That's our new slogan. It's not, but it's our slogan for today. D-Mino, muy bueno. And catch you cool cats on the flip side when we review the next album by Dream Theater.
See you next year.
See you next year. Farewell.